In the angelic ranking, in all of creation, only man could reveal the dimensions of God. And Lucifer had perceived these things, so he wanted to enter into it. I will exalt my throne above this. What makes you an elder in a realm where there is no time? That's the topic for another day. But you see, the man is young, so he's naive. So any spirit that comes, he opens his arm, and he doesn't know that when spirits come, they have a purpose. The purpose of a spirit is to use you as a puppet to advance his agenda. When God put the man in the garden, he wanted the man to facilitate only divine agenda. But once upon a time, while the man was in the garden appreciating apples instead of focusing on purpose, the serpent showed up and began to teach him the way of rebellion. And you know, the devil does not have anything good in him. Jesus was speaking. He gave us a manifesto in John chapter 10 verse 10. He said, the devil cometh not but for to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And so the devil came and advanced a suggestion to the man, and the moment the man obeyed him, the man became a servant. Because the law is that whoever you yield yourself servant to obey, the servant of him you are whom you have obeyed. And so the moment the man did that, he relinquished his authority to the devil. When the devil was tempting Jesus on the mountain, he said, all the things you are seeing has been delivered to me. Jesus didn't argue, because what he said had a legitimate ground. It was when Jesus resurrected from Hades that he answered the question. He said, all power has been given to me. Because there is a legal issue. I have to deal with it legally. And the way he dealt with it legally was to show a superior wisdom over the devil. Because this thing is a game of wisdom. The devil came, deceived the man, took power, and Jesus came, and the devil thought it was going to be a game of who is stronger. He said, if you are the Son of God, turn these stones to bread. No, I don't need to turn stones to bread to prove that I'm the Son of God. What you don't know is that it is in weakness that strength is manifested. So the way I will show power is to die. And so the devil didn't know. He supported in killing Jesus. And he said, if the princes of this world had known, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. So when Jesus hung on the cross and the devil thought he was dying, the Bible said while he was on the cross, having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a public show of them, triumphing over them by the cross. So the cross became the weapon to kill the devil. And when he rose, he said, all hail the King. All power in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Now, the point I'm trying to raise here is the fact that when men open up their chambers to spirits, they allow the nature and the agenda of those spirits to also have a place in their sphere. And so the first challenge of vision is the fact that activities that are demonically oriented are here. And many are not aware that every time you open to the devil, you are imbibing his nature, and you are also allowing his government to find expression in your sphere. And the reason many cannot fulfill purpose is not because God is not present. It's not because God is not powerful. It's actually because they have legally opened a door to demonic oppression and demonic operation. And there are few of them that blinds us from looking at our vision. Our focus is to look at vision, look at our dreams. And there are few of those demonic operations that has blinded men from focusing on what matters. And one of it is what we are dealing with tonight: fear. You will think fear is a feeling you have. Fear is a spirit, because there is a weapon of a spirit, and there are many of such weapons. If we had time, we would have dealt with at least 14 of them, because there are many. One of the weapons spirits use to destroy men is pride. Because when you allow pride get into you, even God can't help you. Because these spirits are wise. It's a game of wisdom. The devil knows what he will do that will make God impotent in your matter. Because God himself shows up and he said, if he sees pride in you, instead of helping you, he resists you. He said he resisted the proud, he giveth more grace to the humble. So when the devil wants to fight you, he will not come with a dagger. He will inject pride, and he will allow it to subtly enter your soul. And when that pride enters your soul, even God that should be your helper will now resist you. And you will now discover that you are a stranger on earth. You are lonely, walking on earth, not knowing what to do. And your purpose will elude you, because demons are walking here. Spirits are walking here. We must not make the mistake of assuming that the things that happen on earth are a set of coincidences. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything is deliberately orchestrated from the spirit realm. The first weapon of the devil for shutting us down from purpose is pride. When you become proud, God can help you, and Satan will make a mess of you. There's another weapon called distraction. In 1 Kings chapter 20 verse 40, the prophet told a parable to the king. He said, my Lord gave me a servant to keep. He said, but as I was busy here and there, I lost him. You will now discover that your dream is actually not something you created, because I will define a dream. Your dream is actually images, divinely orchestrated images generated in your spirit to help you have a grasp of your purpose. And so if you become busy here and there, you will lose your dream. You will not understand that you thought you saw a woman, you say, ah. You thought you saw a car, oh. As you are turning up and down, your dream is eluding you. The next time you wake up, you are 80. And then you are wondering, why did I come here? They will answer you in heaven. There's a place where you get all the answers. It's in heaven. There's no answer that you will not get there. But you see, because the devil knows this, he will fire distraction into your soul. And there are many young men who are distracted. They face anything that has to do with destiny. They discover they don't have appetite for it. And from morning till night, they are roaming up and down doing nothing. And they are busy here and there. When you become busy here and there, you don't need the devil to take your vision. You will hand it over. You will lose it. It's a weapon from the demonic realm. People don't know spirits are doing overtime work here. That's why they take life for granted. The second weapon the devil uses is the weapon of distraction. If you become distracted, trust me, if they like, they should pour a drum of oil on your head. You will lose your vision. You will lose your dream. You will never fulfill it. It's in heaven they will show you the scope and the power that your life should have commanded. The third weapon the devil uses on earth is wrong desires. Spirits run on the frequency of your desire. Every time a desire is born, a channel is open for spirit manifestation. In John 8:44, Jesus was speaking. He said, you are of your father, the devil. He said, the lust of your father shall ye do. So the moment you build a desire, you enthrone a spirit over you. The moment their desires became lost, the devil became their father. And you know the word father is the word pater. It's also the word fundus. That's origin and sustainer. So you will discover that when you build a wrong desire, the spirit that takes over is the one that creates the kind of image that you see. And so that spirit can now rule over your destiny. And so the third weapon the devil is using to tame a generation is the weapon of wrong desire. You think when you look around and all you are seeing are seductive paintings is something that was not thought through. You buy a razor blade, you see a naked person. They are trying to create an image. And as we go into dreams, you will see the power of visualization. What the devil is trying to do is to create a desire in you. And that desire created will become a gangway for him to walk into your destiny and to dominate you. It's a weapon in the spirit. When you become wise, you will shut the gates. The gate of the eyes, the gate of the ear, the gate of the skin. Nothing can enter. In Ephesians 4:27, he said, giving no place to the devil. Because it is you who determines what spirit rule over you. And the desires you open up is the gateway for spirits. This thing does not begin with talking. There are many things that happen in your life that you don't say anything, but you consent to. And one of the ways you consent is through your thinking and your desire. If you think it, desire it, you open a door for a spirit to take over. It's a weapon in the spirit. I'm telling you why many lose their dreams and they can't focus on it. Because the desires can take them off and they will veer away from destiny. The fourth weapon of the devil is the weapon of sin and lawlessness. In Isaiah 53 verse 6, he says, all we like sheep have gone astray. All we. So the moment you choose the path of sin, iniquity and lawlessness, you voluntarily walk away from God. So you see that all these weapons have their powers. The weapon of pride makes God to resist you. The weapon of distraction makes you to lose your dream. The weapon of desire makes other spirits to rule over you. And the weapon of sin makes you to walk away from God. All of these things will end up causing you to lose that dream that God planted in your spirit even before you were born. Because the things that you see while you walk on earth were built into you before you were born. He said to Jeremiah, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I ordained you to be a prophet. You come on earth, you are seeing prophetic signals. You don't know that those things are algorithms created from the studio of eternity. You are not being creative. You are only seeing what was passed into you. And what the devil will do is to make sure you lose it. You'll never fulfill it. Wrong desire, sin, and lawlessness. The fifth weapon the devil uses is the weapon of ingratitude. So you find many people who should be helped into destiny. They shut the gates. Most people are in obscurity and suffering today because they didn't say thank you at the right time. God arranged everything that should lift them up. When the table is set, all they needed to say is thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. They didn't say it. They forgot. And because they forgot, their helpers too forgot. And so everybody forgets until they are forgotten in destiny. And no matter how strong you are, you need men. No matter how strong you are, you need helpers. Sometimes one recommendation can be more important than a life saving. But if you don't know how to say thank you, you are gone. And the devil will use this to make a lot of people suffer and never fulfill destiny. In 1 Thessalonians 5:18, the Bible said, in all things be thankful. In all things. Because if you lose the virtue of gratitude, you will discover that even if you remember your dream, you won't fulfill it. And there are all of these weapons there, the devil working over time to keep us in obscurity. This conference is designed to make you break the power of darkness. It's designed to cut all of those programs from your soul, so that as you walk out of here, the you that was sent from heaven will manifest. The thief cometh not but for what? To kill, to steal, and to destroy. These are some of the weapons he uses. But tonight our focus is on fear. Fear is a weapon the devil is using. In 2 Timothy 1:17, he said, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of power, the spirit of love, and the spirit of a sound mind. So when fear comes, there is something it does to your mind. That's why you lose your dream. The word sound mind there is the word sophronismos. Is the ability to create pictures and to bet them. But when fear comes, it can truncate it. And so one weapon the devil is using is the weapon of fear. And fear is a spirit. He shoots it as an arrow into people. Some people from when they were children. I remember when we were growing, they told us stories that had didn't bother on our destiny. You just sit down in the evening, one uncle comes and begins to tell you a story about your ancestors, how that in the night spirits were walking and killing people. And for 10 years we were tormented. The moment you see darkness, you are afraid. Meanwhile, when I grew up, I discovered I pray in the dark. If I want to pray, I need everywhere to be quiet. I lie down. Even light becomes too noisy. I hide somewhere in the dark, very quiet. That's where I pray. But for more than 10 years of my life, the moment I see darkness, my heart starts pumping. I run away, because the devil used somebody to bring a set of evil words to plant fear into my spirit. Imagine if I started praying like that at the age of 10. Fear shot fear into my spirit and made a slave out of me. And so if there is any iota of fear in you this evening, we will kick it out. We will make sure at least fear will leave you today. That thing that makes you feel that it can't be you will leave you tonight. That thing that makes you feel that it's too big for you will leave you tonight. When you become bold, something wakes up on your inside. I'm telling you, nothing is too big for you. You were created in the image and in the likeness of God. So your propensity is equivalent to that of God. Jesus was speaking in John 14:12. He said, verily, verily, I say unto you. He said, the works that I do, you shall do also. If he stopped there, that would have been enough. But he didn't stop there. He said, greater works than this shall ye do, because I go to the Father. So today, I don't just have what Jesus has. Jesus himself has become my backup. Anything that has stopped you from entering your destiny, they will fall tonight. Because there is a technology. How do you think Jesus wants to take over the world and he goes to fishermen? Because if he went to the professors, you would think it's because of their potentials. He went to ordinary men so that you will know that the power comes from God. Anybody can have it. Any other natural advantage you have is an added support. But you are a fisherman, you can change your world. Today, they are studying the writings of fishermen in Oxford University for PhD. Imagine what a fisherman wrote, Peter. They are studying the Petrine doctrine, Petrine theology for PhD. Somebody is writing his thesis in 1 Peter. The writing of a fisherman. And then you are here, you have a master's degree, you say you won't take the word. You are here with all of the advancement, you say you won't take the word. I prophesy over you, your potentials are activated. My God, if the speakings of a fisherman can become a course for PhD, you have no reason to fail. You have no reason to be small. And so everything in you that makes you feel you must be small, it breaks out of your life tonight. It's a weapon. The devil uses it to tame people. Let me show you 3 consequences of fear. Why you need to fight against it aggressively tonight. You will fight it out of your soul. Number 1, fear torments. Fear brings torment. 1 John 4:18. It says fear brings torment. And so there are many people with great potentials, but they are being tormented. It said therefore, it said there is no fear in love. It said perfect love casted out fear, because fear involves torment. So when you find people who are fearful, they are being tormented on a daily basis. The moment they think of anything, they start being tormented. They are in oppression and they are in terrible torment. They know what they want to do, they desire to do it, but fear is like a demon of torment that follows them, some even to their dreams, forbidding them from looking at what God has called them to do. So when you see some people not being able to focus on their vision, it's because there is a koboko the devil is using to turn them away from it. And that koboko is fear. It brings torment into their soul. The second thing fear does is that fear provokes slavery and control. Romans 8:15. When you find fearful people, they may have the best of potentials, but they are living like slaves, never daring to live out their potentials. He said, for you did not receive the spirit of bondage again to fear. So fear puts people in perpetual captivity. Fear is bondage. And so many people try, but they are in prison. Fear has emasculated them. Fear has put them in prison, and there's nothing they can do. So after a while, they end up in a state of helplessness and hopelessness, and they give up completely. That's where they lose their vision. And finally, fear collapses your faith. That's why many times when Jesus wants to demonstrate the power of faith, he says, fear not, only believe. Luke 8:50, fear not, only believe. Fear not, only believe. Because the moment you fear, your faith is immobilized. Meanwhile, it is written that the just shall live by faith. Without faith, we can't please God. Without faith, we can't succeed in this realm. And if there is any weapon that destroys your faith, then that weapon has destroyed you indeed. And that weapon that destroys faith is fear. And so you find somebody who has a lot of faith, but fear exists side by side faith. And the moment fear shows up, faith is immobilized. This is why you cannot allow fear to live on your inside, because it's a weapon of the devil. How do you deal with fear? Many scriptures you see here, the Bible says, perfect love casted out fear. If you look at your destiny, and it's not just, I want to be great, I want to have a car. If you look at the future and it becomes, how do I help society? How do I help humanity? How do I glorify God? You will discover that gradually that fear will go away. And so as we teach on how to destroy fear and also teach on how to focus on vision, you are going to see that most of the activities that will be prescribed will be selfless activities, activities oriented towards love. Because if you don't know how to walk in love, you cannot deal with your fear. And if you focus on your fears, you cannot focus on your dreams. Meanwhile, dreams are meant to be dreamt by even the old. That means we dream until the day we leave this world. And that's why you cannot tolerate fear for a second.